is coming from a successful Ajax relationship. And even now that Eddie Howe has a lot of resources, they are not spending massively yet. They are not spending massively yet. And that's where you see it. It's not like you buy everything in the team. You still see a lot of players that he met there.
All right. All right. Let us quickly look at some of the standing of goals, most especially those who have scored goals in this match. That is, we want to talk right now about the highest goal scorer between Newcastle and Manchester United. It is Rashford who has 14 goals among them all here. 14 goals. And Almiron.
Yeah,
Almiron
yeah,
has 11 goals.
I want to remember. The guy that has improved. Yeah. He really improved because it was one of those guys that Eddie Howe met at my Newcastle. And he has really improved. That's the job of coaching. He has done a great job.
Almiron have 11 goals. 11 goals. And Wilson, also from Newcastle, has 7 goals.
Yeah, the English striker.
Yeah. Then Ishak, the man we were talking about, almost scored a goal, has 6 goals.
Yeah. Isak missed some games too. But this is his first season in England. So you can still pardon him if he's not firing on all cylinders yet.
Yeah. Bruno Fernandes have 5 goals.
Bruno is an assist. It was when he came that nobody could stand up. He had to stand up to the occasion. During the era of Legona Social, so he had to stand up and start doing the job because somebody just has to come and lift the spirit of the team. Yeah. But right now that he has guys around him that he can work with, he's more of an assist corner. Give the assist and score few less goals, but do more assists.
Then Sancho has 4 goals.
Jadon Sancho coming from Borussia Dortmund. He has had, when he was coming, he was at Borussia Dortmund. He was like, he's going to come and light up the Premier League, and the expectations were high. Yeah. But coming in, he had a very disappointing first season. But beginning to, there was a time that Ten Hag had to just freeze him out of the team, that he needs to go and get his heart together. And since he came back, it shows that maybe getting his heart together has really worked for him, because he was froze out of the team for a while now. He came back, he's now doing a lot better than last season.
Wow. And we also have Kamaras. He's from Newcastle.
Yeah.
And he has 3 goals. Kamaras.
Yeah, you see, one of the beauty of a team is when you have different guys that can score. Now, looking at Man U now, we've only counted Rashford and Fernandes. Yeah. But look at Newcastle. We've mentioned Wilson. Yeah. We've mentioned Isak. We've mentioned Almiron. Now we are mentioning Guimaraes. Yeah. And Guimaraes is the Brazilian. He was at the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. The guy too came, I think he came, it was this summer or last year, winter transfer. And the guy has hit the ground running. The guy too is an holding midfielder, central midfielder. And he has been doing a good job. Fantastic guy. In fact, a lot of bigger clubs are beginning to look in his direction to solve their midfield challenges too. So far so good for Newcastle. Fantastic.
So far so good for Newcastle. It is 48 minutes. The second half started. And it is 48 minutes into the second half. And it is still Liverpool who are trying to make...
It's still Man U.
It's still Man U and Newcastle who are trying to make a goal. We are trying to score a goal here. And the pressure is still high against Manchester United. Now look at this. When we talk about the selection, the front line of Man U, is it a very good forward?
Practically, The front line, this front line has been what they have really been using for most of the matches they've played so far. They had the Weghorst, starting this January, because Weghorst just came, not long. Weghorst, Rashford, Anthony, then Bruno Fernandes in the middle. So that's practically the pattern they've really adopted. So, and it has been working. They've been scoring goals. There are games that Manchester United has scored 4. Despite the fact that they consider 7 up, but it's one of those things in football that happens. But so far, I can say so far so good for Manchester United, but not the same for teams like Chelsea. So far, so worse.
And if we talk about the defense, we have Sean, Martinez,
yes.
Varane, and Dalot. Is it formidable enough?
Of course, of course. You know, Luke Shaw when you have a left back like Luke Shaw, he's a very mobile player. You know, his left foot is one of the, when we talk about silk left footer, that the way they carry the ball with their left foot reminds you of the days of, maybe not up to Marcelo of Madrid, the way he used the ball, the way, he takes the ball to the opponent. And when you talk about Lautaro Martinez, the guy is a World Cup winner. The guy that can die on the field of play. He has been doing a fantastic job for Manchester United so far. The guy can defend with his, what some pidgin people will say, broadcast. He can defend with any part of his body. So it's been a fantastic addition. What can you say when you bring in Varane with the experience from winning Champions League back-to-back from Real Madrid, winning the FIFA World Cup with France, and he has, and those teams, when you mention them, you can't say he was not a big part of those success. Varane, it was a big part of those success. The winning the World Cup for France, it was a dominance in the center back. In fact, I think he scored in the semi-final or the quarter-final to put them into the next round of the competition. So Varane has been fantastic too. You cannot underestimate what Varane has. And when we talk about Diogo Dalot, even C. Ronaldo said it. He said that Diogo Dalot, his work ethics, his mentality, he has signs that he can become a very, very big player to reckon with at his wing of play, and he has been doing justice to that too. So, fantastic defense.
Wow, fantastic defense. And let's talk about the midfield. The midfield of Manchester United. Is it okay, the selection?
Yeah, when you are missing a very prolific DM, a mobile DM, a solid DM, like Casemiro, you cannot overemphasize his work ethics and his impact. Because so far, Casemiro has been a great addition to Man U. Very big, huge role he has played to their success so far. But when you now bring in Scott McTominay, he can't cover those space. It can only be Scott. And Sabitzer came this January from Bayern. When Eriksen got injured, they had to just bring in him, just to shock absorb the space. So, but looking at it in general, the two holding midfielders are not that bad. Okay. They've been okay. They've been a bit average or a little above average. But, they are really missing Casemiro.
They're really missing Casemiro because he has a lot to offer there.
He scores goals.
He scores goals, and he's a machine. This is another moment for Newcastle United where they make it one. They've been tossing the ball around in the center, close to the 18 box of Manchester United. And they've been passing the ball around, and Manchester United are just following them, escorting the ball like central bank. When you want to carry money to central bank, you have a lot of vehicles escorting. That's what is happening right now. And that's a good defensive block from Tony. Yeah, that's one, credible thing about Tony that most people are not seeing because he falls back to defend most time.
You have to. Most of the time, the defending is the instruction given by the coach. So if you want to keep playing, you have to obey instruction. So he defends well too. That's good. It's an addition, but it's primary duty. You should do it well.
His primary duty should do it well now. But if I ask you now, substitute one person from this squad from the Man U, who will you substitute?
I will substitute Anthony for Jadon Sancho.
You substitute Anthony for Jadon Sancho?
But if I will make it two, I will substitute Weghorst and Anthony for Martial and Sancho. More mobile forward.
We want to talk about Weghorst. That I was saying Weghorst has a lot of impact in this very particular team.
Yes, of course.
Because he stands at the last man in the forward and he drags players, drags the defender to himself, opening space for Rashford and Tony. Yeah. So bringing him out now, the replacement Martial is also a good machine, but he's not playing this. It's not the same tactics much where we was play that Martial also played.
Look at it now. So far, this tactics has not been working for Man U. That's why in football, a very good coach, we have plan A, B, and sometimes C. So when your first plan is not working, you switch. So looking at it now, you see that Man U really needs to switch. Yeah. Because it's like Newcastle.
A beautiful run! Oh! It is saved again.
You see, they keep taking the game to mind. So, and the best form of defense is attack.
Yeah.
When you also attack, your attackers will sit back. So it will reduce the pressure you get on your defense. And when pressure is too much on your defense, you tend to collapse sometimes.
Tend to collapse, and the possibility of scoring will come in.
Yes.
The possibility, and that's one. Well, that ball was saved by Dalot. Dalot headed that ball out.
Yeah.
After an attack from the left side, he headed that ball out, and that would have been a goal for Newcastle. And it is a corner kick for Newcastle. This is the fourth corner kick for Newcastle, and Man U is only having one corner kick.
At least they've had one this second half, not like first half. I don't think they have any.
Just one from the first half, not the second half.
Okay, one for the.
A beautiful chance again. The pressure is too much.
Yes, they're really mounting the pressure on Man U. They want to win this game. That home winning mentality. For any team that wants to succeed, you need to make your home your home. Make your home your fortress. Once you do that, one of the things that is working for Arsenal and Man City this season is they've made their home their home. They win most of the games they play at home. Look at Napoli in Syria. They make their home their home. So if you want to win big in football, you have to make your home your home. That's just it. And that's what Newcastle are trying to do.
Okay, this is a counter from Manchester United.
Look at it. You will return it back.
But let's talk about the yesterday match. It was a disappointing match for Liverpool.
Yes.
Because they scored the first goal.
No, it's disappointing. Disappointing will come when you have been expected to win. Yeah. Most people didn't expect Liverpool to win yesterday. They didn't expect them to win.
But a lot of people I expected them to win. I expected Liverpool to win that match yesterday.
And that's why you are just trying to play the devil's advocate. Yes, because on the norms, if you want to go with antecedents so far, you stick towards Man City. Realistically, when you look at it, a team that a struggling Real Madrid team can beat home and away. A team that Bournemouth can confidently beat. Nottingham Forest has defeated Liverpool this season. A lot of unexpected results against Liverpool. So that means their house is not in order. Their house is not in order at all. That explains why people like me have been saying, from the beginning of the season, I told people, I said, they will miss money. They said, no, Salah is available. We kept quiet. And I think right now, many of us has been proven right.
And right now, we are seeing the positive impact. Tuchel now is the manager of Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
You understand? And yesterday we saw his first game, and he started with 4-0. It was later they scored
Two.
against Borussia Dortmund. Against almighty Borussia Dortmund. We're already seeing the impact.
Yeah, you see, when you know this job, you know this job. Even if you are not doing well, you know you are taking steps in the right direction. You know, first, when Guardiola came to the Premier League, he went trophyless the first season. But when those first season, he identified the loopholes. When he blocked it, they won 18 games on the stretch. They tore teams apart. They defeated Chelsea 6-0. You know, when you see a team that they know where they are going to, you see, don't underestimate the power of a coach that knows where he's going to. It might not be there, but look at it too. When it started, you see the team heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
The right signings. When you see a coach that knows what he's doing, you will start from the direction of football. What do we want to... Okay, for instance, let's use the game we are watching, Newcastle. When Newcastle was under their former coach, I've forgotten his name now. This old
the
man.
coach, the man that left, yeah.
Yes, that left.
Okay.
I think it was fired, actually. Newcastle was more of a defensive-minded side. When Ediao came in, started doing more of coaching, Newcastle began to play more attacking and free-flowing football, which we knew him for since his days at Bournemouth. So you see, direction has changed. Now, getting to January, he brought in guys that could express his pattern of play better. You know, on the norms, we fans will think that they will go and bring one Mbappe and spend 500 because they have money. No. They just went to bring, you know, they brought in Karen Trippier. They brought in guys that could do the job. The job. Not
the name.
The name. The job. And they have been doing a great job. Now, later on, what do? They went to bring Alexander Isak to support Wilson too as the number 9. They should fight for their jersey. And what is happening now? There's competition in the team and everybody is going wild. Football is not rocket science. One has to lead to another. So for you to know that there are coaches that knows the job.
There are there are coaches that know the job.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, are you happy or do you support the fact that Brendan Rodgers has been sacked?
You know, sometimes when you're in a club, you overstay your welcome. Yeah, most marriages, one of the coaches I like that knows when to leave is Guardiola. Don't let it be the time that they have to start. But many times I don't blame the coach that doesn't leave because, you know, the payoff is serious cash out.
You don't want to miss the cash out.
You work for the money.
Yeah.
Because the money pays the bills.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I don't blame them too. But in football, and I don't blame Brendan actually. Why don't I blame Brendan? It's because when they sell your key players, they sold a lot of his key players. From the goalkeeper to former left back to former centre back. You know, even some of his go-to men had left. So when you have that kind of a team in a team, you might not easily get their replacement and get it right. So that's, you see, Leicester has lost a lot of quality players. So you can't really blame Brendan Rodgers. He did a good job. He won the FA Cup for them, took them to Europe, and he really tried.
But right now they are on relegation. They're in the
Yes.
relegation zone. Now, because when we come to Premier League,
Yes.
it is when it is beginning to be obvious that you are going to remain under relegation that we begin to see managers sacked.
Yes.
Right now we have Leicester City, Southampton on the relegation zone. So any moment from now you'll be expecting sack from most of these under table teams.
You know that when you are in the Premier League or any league, when you are going towards relegation, you want to change things. Because you feel that if you keep it that way, things might not change. And it really works.
You talked about substituting Anthony and
Jadon Sancho.
For Sancho is coming in for Anthony. And you said about where he goes, and that is what happened. Yes, sir. You got it right. So that's why I say you are octopus. That's why I say you produce it more than the octopus. And you got it right.
Yeah.
Exactly the way you said it.
Yes. You see, when football is not rocket science, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you see a coach that knows, you know, I was giving credit to Ten Hag.
Yeah.
When you know how to read the game. Weghorst and Anthony, they've not been in this game. The job of Anthony is not to defend. It's to attack. It's not attacking, it's defending well. It's off. That's how it works. So when you want to do the job, you leave sentiment and you do the job.
Yeah.
So, and you know, not our Harry Potter. Sorry, Graham Potter.
Harry Potter.
That his substitution can be so annoying and purging. But look at substitution, and you will see some changes.
Yeah.
Because those are the right thinking substitution I think he should do. And
you know, and if we talk about Marshall, when we talk about Marshall, injury have not really allowed him to really prove himself. That is, though we know his worth, we know what he can do, yes. But most times he's always on the bench because of his injury. But right now, he's on.
Yeah, you know, Marshall under Ten Hag, if not for injury, his career is beginning to come back to life. Because the way Ten Hag plays, you know, he plays a lot on the ground. You know, this kind of attacking football, that you move the ball around and, you know, you find the final man with the pass. And, you know, he has the speed, too, to carry on with it. So you just have to give it to him. You have to give it to him. Yeah, you have to give it to him, honestly. Yeah. You have to really, really, really give it to him.
And it is Newcastle who have scored the first goal. Yes, Newcastle, we're just talking about it, and Newcastle have scored the first goal. Well, let's see. Will the referee give that? Will the referee give that?
Let's see.
Well, before we go to the goal, there's a call on the line. So let's quickly answer that. But before then, let's conclude this goal. The goal was called by Willock.
You know, I was just talking about, we were talking about the way Newcastle was taking the game. The way Newcastle was taking the game to Man U. And I was saying that it looks more like they might end up drawing the first blood. And that's what they have done.
Yeah. This is Premier Sport Fan Center. Please, always remember to subscribe. Subscribe, just click the subscription button and you'll be on. You will always get notification. You can call in. Our phone number is right there on the screen of the television. You can call in also to make your contribution. That is the goal. It was a beautiful goal by Willock.
Yeah.
You see the movement?
Yeah. They keep attacking them. Look at that beautiful cross from Bruno Guimaraes. I was talking about Bruno Guimaraes. Look at it. Look at the movement. These are training ground routine. Where you do, there are some movement that leads to go. Training ground routine was one of the things that made Leicester win the league. This Almiron is out.
He's out. He's having injury.
He's a very, very key player in that team now. He really improved. So when you see all these things come into play, you know that, a coach that knows it, all names knows it. And the one that doesn't know the job doesn't. Know it. There are some coaches that are meant for average teams. There are some meant for the bigger teams. That's why talent is not equal. It's not equally deposited in people. You just have to make use of the one you have and, improve on it.
Yes, 65 is the lucky number. 65 is the lucky number. And
no, 66 minutes.
At the 65th minute, Newcastle scored the goal. So 65 is a lucky number. And like I said, always remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe. Our subscription button is right there. Just click it. And also click the bell so that you always get notification from us. And our phone number is also open. It's also open. You can call in to make a contribution. You can call in to make a contribution. As we are talking right now, it is 1-0 in favor of Newcastle United. This is the 66th minute I've gone. So, right now, what's next for Man U?
To attack. You have to respond. Because when you concede a goal, you have the next 5 minutes to really respond. You know, the expected goal of Manchester United so far in this match has been very poor. 0.18. That means they've not really been creating chances, so they need to come out, which explains why the coach made that substitution. Mobility in front. You know, I spoke about mobility.
Yeah.
And Tony does some annoying things, which is when you take the ball, you delay the attack because you want to dribble. You dribble to attack.
Yeah.
You don't delay the attack with your dribble. Modern day football, you don't do that. Era of some, JJ Okocha and all that, you dance with the ball a little.
It has gone.
It has gone. Now football is business. You dribble, you attack with your dribble.
Now look at the table. Look at the table. The table, Newcastle United has moved up ahead of Manchester United, third position. Okay. Though they share the same point, but other little plus and minus. Goals different.
They have 21 plus, Man U has 5.
And the one who created the assist, Joel Linton, is coming in
for
and Maximus.
Yeah.
Maximus is going out. Maximus was the one who created that assist for Willock.
Yes.
And is going out.
Yeah.
And these are dangerous guys. If you look at them, in their moves, they are dangerous. You know, they are out for something.
And
if you
look
look at
brought in Gordon too.
Gordon is coming
out from Everton.
Muffin is going out and Gordon in.
Yeah.
And if you look at the response of the 52,000 capacity crowd, it was something, And that's what, I remember a time, when they interview, Mikel Obi, he says sometimes when the crowd begins to hail you, he says, you don't know when you start performing.
Of course. That is the number 12th man on the field, the fans. When you are playing at home, in front of your people, let's domesticate this. You are playing in front of your people. Imagine your uncle. You are hearing his voice, cheering you. I'm just using it as an example just for the illustration. Now, that's how it feels when your home fans are cheering you on, singing your name. Conte said, one of the things he said he will miss the fans. The way they cheer him.
That's the Chelsea fans?
No, the Tottenham fans.
When he left in Tottenham?
When he just left, how many days ago?
All right.
He said he will miss the Tottenham fans. These are the things we are talking about. Yes, fans play a role, but you see, home advantage, I don't think it really exists again in football. It's just for the fans cheering, but if you don't play well, you don't play well. If your fans, they cheer you on. We've seen teams collapse at home. Like last season, this Man U team was destroyed at home 5-0 by Liverpool in front of their own fans. So it's not about home. Like Barcelona went away to Real Madrid last season and defeated them 4-0. So it's not by home fans. There's no really home advantage that much again.
Yeah, no home advantage. And prior to this match, it was West Ham versus Southampton that played, and West Ham won 1-0.
Yeah, good.
And they moved out of relegation zone.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. West Ham is one of those traditional Premier League teams. We don't really want to see them go on relegation, but you have to earn it. And that's part of what they've done today to win one.
To tell you that the gap that separates these teams are not much. You see, West Ham was in number 18, and just one win took them to number 14.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday when we were talking about the game. The point in between them is not much. So the relegation battle this season is looking like it's going to be war.
It's going to be war because right now Everton has fallen into the relegation zone. The three people that are on the relegation zone right now is Everton, Southampton, and Leicester City. Leicester City.
Yeah, that's the reason why Leicester just changed their manager. They just changed their manager. I don't know who will take over from Brendan Rodgers, but that team needs a revamp. There are still quality in that team that can bring them up. I guess maybe Brendan Rodgers just got tired of the job.
Another counter for Newcastle United. Will they be able to make it? Oh, good defensive work by, who saved that goal? Varane. It was Varane.
Look at.
Oh, what a beautiful skills. Did you see that?
Yeah,
I used to, those days it was Ronaldo that was doing it.
Snake bite.
Okay, they call it snake bite.
Yes, you push the ball right and you turn it.
All right. Talking about Rashford, Rashford has only come to the party today.
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah, your team need to possess the ball.
And now you have been an equalizer for Manchester United, but two defenders were there. Sabitzer. It was Sabitzer who wanted to score, but two defenders had to block him.
When you are playing in a match whereby your team has not, your team just had one shot on goal.
Can you imagine?
So what else do you expect? What else? So Man U.
Do we conclude that Man U don't know how to play big teams?
No. We can't conclude. They've defeated Man City.
And Barcelona.
Defeated Barcelona. No? They've played a draw away at Chelsea.
Do you know why I'm saying it? Because it was Liverpool that defeated them 7-0. And now Newcastle about to defeat them.
But that same Liverpool, they defeated Liverpool first leg.
First leg, yeah.
Yes, 2-1.
Because if you look at it, it's like sometimes they lose guard.
They were the first to beat Arsenal.
Yes.
So they play. They can play big matches. But sometimes when they just collapse, can collapse in a very, very dangerous and annoying manner.
No, because the way it's going now, Tottenham can also pursue them and take them off the top four.
Yeah, that's the beauty of top four battle.
You know?
Just imagine, had it been Chelsea had won his two last games, Chelsea too will be in the frame for top four now.
And it is just 1 point that Manchester United is using to lead Tottenham. So a win for Tottenham now will take them third, fourth, and Manchester United will be struggling.
Yes, all of them, that's why this is the time of the season.
Oh, that is a good counter. A smooth move. Oh, what a defensive play. That is the first ball that was going direct to Rashford. But this...
and when you look at it, Newcastle has been very good defensively this season.
Yes, they are the best defensively. Do you know why I say they are the best defensively? Yes, they score lesser goals than any other team. They consider only 19 goals.
Yes.
I was even thinking it was Manchester City and Arsenal. But Arsenal has considered 27 goals. Yeah. Manchester City, 25 goals. But Newcastle, 19 goals.
Yeah, Manchester City considered one yesterday, making 26.
Making 26.
Yes.
So if we want to talk about the most defensive team right now, we'll be talking about Newcastle.
Yeah,
because they consider lesser goals.
Lesser goals, yes. They've been doing a great job defensively.
With this goal they just scored now, that means they have scored 40 goals.
Yeah.
And considered 19 goals out of 27 matches.
Yeah.
It's something to clap for.
Of course.
It's something to cheer.
Yeah. They've done a great job defensively.
And who are their defenders? Can we just look at the defender? They are unknown people. They are not...
they have Karen Trippier.
Yeah.
As their right back. They have this guy.
Botman.
They have Botman, they have Shah, and they have Bon. I think Bon was brought in from, is it Burnley or I've forgotten the name of the team now. So they just brought in mostly average players that the coach has improved. I will say the ready-made players they brought in were just like their goalkeeper Nick Pope was already made, Trippier was already made, Bruno Guimaraes, and Alexander Isak. The rest, he did a lot of coaching on them.
So that's why you have to place him ahead of the hand. That means he has done incredibly well.
Yeah,
you can bring those average players and make them superstar and make them do, Oh! Another save! Did you see that? It would have been 2-0. A counter for Manchester United, who is there up front. And it is still moving. They are still on the run. He has 2 men to beat. He crossed it. Oh, that is a good defense. That's the defensive work we're talking about.
Yes. You see, when I was
do you see the counter? Do you see how they were flowing with them?
Yes. You see, when I was complaining yesterday about Chelsea not disciplined, you see, Newcastle go on an go on attack. Now, you see the discipline of the defensive line. They know how to fall back in time.
Look at that.
This was a good.
That is Joelinton.
Yes. The gear has been fantastic.
Oh, no.
Another off the back. Wow.
Look at that header by Joelinton.
Wow. The gear is really, really.
After the block by the gear, he hit the crossbar. Crossbar twice. No. The ball hit the crossbar twice. One.
Yes.
And another header again. Bah.
When this guy got injured.
Two. Oh, no. That's a beautiful one.
You just have to be impressed with the way Newcastle has gone about with this game. Newcastle has been fantastic in this game, and they deserve the lead. In fact, if they win, they deserve the victory because they've controlled the important part of the game so far. So, what else?
Yes, that means it is the revenge mission we are talking about, and that is okay. That was a good play. That was a good. That was a goal they scored. It was Joelinton pass. It was headed. He's a very tall man.
Not very tall. It was a Maxima. Saint Maxima. It's not very tall. Maxima is, let's just say, average height, so we don't insult some people. But, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think this guy has to be substituted. Can he continue? Because he's been injured. He has been injured. Can he continue?
Yeah,
John Willock, Newcastle, received a brilliant pass and waste a big opportunity as his shot from inside the penalty area fire narrow wide off the right post.
Looking at as it is now, you can see Wilson about to come on. I think he is on already. It says a lot about the team. He just brought him on for Isak. That means they are not changing anything from the attack. Yeah, they are not changing anything. They just changed the player.
Yeah, and Isak has been so fantastic in this match. He has been contributing. I know you can predict very well and you can read the mind of the coach. Why will Isak be brought out at this point in time?
He's tired.
And he's tired, and Colum Wilson.
Yes,
Colum Whiskey is coming in.
That's another number 9. That's the guy England took to the World Cup. Okay. It's just simple with renewed blood. We human beings get tired. So if you Isak, look at how he's gassing. So he's tired already. So when you have a tired player on the field, you have shot one. So that's why even when Messi is tired, they substitute him. Wow. So Isak is tired, brought in Wilson to look at how Wilson is on. You can see that there's a difference. Now,
it's a fresh blood.
And Wilson can do the same damage, almost the same damage as Isak. So it's as you are just bringing in like for like. And in fact, Wilson have more experience of the Premier League than Isak. I just think Isak is just a bit taller than Wilson. So, it's just like that. Man United is now hard to play because they go down.
They go down and now they are applying fire brigade approach.
Yeah,
they had all the time.
Or something from the man.
Yeah, they had all the time.
And if Newcastle is not careful, Man U can be dangerous towards the dying minute of the game. They can really hurt you.
Yeah.
They can really hurt you. So I think that's why the coach is renewing blood. Because he felt his attackers are tired. That's why Man U is taking control of the game.
And we can see this guy warming up.
Yeah.
Fred
and Pelestri.
Fred and Pelestri warming up to come in.
Yes.
That means Ten Hag have a game plan.
Yes, he wants to tweak things a little, but I don't think he's changing anything in the formation. You see, when you just notice something changed when he brought out Anthony and Weghorst. You see that Man U began to have more possession. That's the mobility I was talking about. Look at it. They are more mobile.
Oh, look at this move.
You can see what I'm saying.
Look at the movement. And there is a sense of urgency right now in the Man U squad.
Look at the mobility.
Oh, Anthony have a chance there. Oh, what a miss. Ow! That was a deflection.
You see what I was saying? That mobility. When you know, absorbing defenders is not working with Weghorst, then you switch to mobile forward. Look at it now. That chance was created because they are mobile. They can dribble, they can cut. Not like Anthony that will be wasting time.
It was Masha that played that ball, and that ball would have gone into the net if not the head of that guy. And the guy, where the guy placed his leg, but his leg not blocked, it was his head. So it was not. It was a lucky block.
Yeah.
It was just lucky. It was just lucky. And now you can see Willock is down. Is that a delay tactics?
I think he's struggling with something in his muscle.
All right, 3 substitution. Three substitution. They are warming up, and who is coming in?
Fred is in already.
Fred is in. McTominay is going out, and Fred is in. Martinez is coming in. Is going out for Pelestri.
Okay.
Varane is going out from Lindelof. You know, is that an excellent substitution?
What he's trying to do is reduce the number of defenders, bring in one new blood that still has strength to play the centre back, have the right back Diego Dalot draw to a 3-man defense. And with that, they want to increase the body up front. That's why he brought in Pelestri for that Lisandro Martinez.
Okay.
So with that now, Man U will attack more because they have more numbers of body up front.
Yes. And Anderson is coming in for Willock. The goal scorer has been injured. I think he's having a thigh injury and is going out, and Anderson is replacing him.
I think
will you have replaced Willock if not because of the injury? If you are the manager?
He won't, because Willock is not tired. He's still playing. He's still in the game. But that injury, he has overstretched his muscles. I think that's growing injury. And that growing injury is always underrated, and it can be very serious. Because when he will be walking, he will feel like there's a gap in between his legs sometimes. So you give it to the coach. The game plan Newcastle coach has for this game is really working out. Really, really working out. It shows that he learned a lot from the Carling Cup final loss to Man U. And they've really improved.
They've really improved.
Another good job from coaching.
You know, we give it to Newcastle because for a very long time we've not seen them in the final of any competition.
Lisandro Martinez is angry.
Yeah, for being substituted.
He doesn't want to leave the game.
You know, for a very long time we have not seen Newcastle in final of any match, any tournament. We have not seen them, but this time around we saw them in the final of the Carabao Cup, and right now we are seeing them struggling for the top 4.
Yes.
That means they will be in the next season Champions League, UEFA Champions League.
Who says money is not
And they deserve to be there.
Who says money is not good? Money is good. Money can change things in the right hands. When these people took over this club, what they did was to bring in guys that know how to run football club.
Wow.
They brought them in. Those guys, when you pay them well. And what did they do? They went to hire a coach that understands the Premier League, that has a football philosophy. And after that, look at what he has done. He has done a great job so far. And this thing Manchester United coach did, it can be very risky because it can make Man U concede another goal. Because he has reduced the number of defenders and increased the number. And he now brought in new blood, number 4, so that he can mark more. So that the space he removed from the defense will not show. And it can be risky.
Did you see the response of the fans? They are just cheering their team, their darling team.
Of course, their team is
cheering them. And it is the 87th minute into the second half. Any moment from now, the regulation time will be over. And we're expecting additional time from the referee. Will they be able to hold this victory?
Of course they can. If you look at their defensive record, it has shown that they can. This is the same thing they did to Chelsea.
Oh, another goal for Newcastle United! They have made it 2. They have made it 2.
I was just telling you that.
You said they can, and they responded.
I told you the substitution Manchester United coach did is dangerous. Because when you reduce the bodies, Newcastle are still taking the game to them. Look at it. The number of bodies, okay, look at how many bodies are in the box. Just 2.
That was a beautiful one. And it is Wilson, assist from Trippier. An assist from Trippier, it is Wilson who will score the goal.
Yeah. What can we say?
Let me see, did the referee give that? Did the referee give that?
Let's say if VAR will not chop it off.
That's a beautiful one anyway. 2-0, but let's confirm it from the referee first. Let's see whether the referee will give that. That is a beautiful one. You know, I was saying, won't this be a revenge mission? It was 2-0 in the Carabao. That was a clean one, and the referee gave that.
Of course.
It is 2-0. It was header. Wilson. Beautiful. Beautiful. The revenge mission has been accomplished. 2, you gave me 2 in your home, I give you 2 in my home.
No, not just home. That was at Wembley.
At Wembley, yeah, at Wembley, yeah. Right now in my home.
I think the first leg at Old Trafford was a draw, I think.
Yeah, it was a draw.
It was a draw. So the Carabao Cup victory. So they just, revenge, sweet one. Is the kind of revenge that even takes them on top of Man U on the table. So, yeah. What more?
Because of the antecedent of Newcastle United, they've not had much fun in Nigeria. Because if you look at the past, they were not seen in where it matters most when it comes to the Premier League, the Champions League, and others. We have not seen them. But right now, the way they are playing, I'm very sure their fan zone begin to increase right in Nigeria.
Yeah, of course. When you talk about these teams, many of them, they don't really have that fan base, fan zone in Nigeria. Why? Because they are not that successful. How many people support Manchester City before? But when things started changing, they started gaining more support. So success will bring more fans. It's just something that has been proven in football. How successful you are will determine how much. Many of these traditional teams like Arsenal, Manchester United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Liverpool and Co. still enjoy the fan base they enjoy because of the success they've had years before. The success they have before. So with that has been a saving grace for them, and it has been really working for them. So if Newcastle can be successful more, give them a few more years, you start seeing their fans are plenty, even in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole.
And it is the 90th minute. 90th minute, regulation time is over. Let's see how many minutes the referee will add to this. I think it's not going to be more than 5 minutes.
Even if he has 10 minutes, he will concede more. Yeah, the tactics the coach used. I was expecting Manchester United coach to tweak the formation. That 4-2-3-1 was not working. But when I saw that I didn't tweak it, I knew he wanted to renew blood. So he switched from holding to mobility. But even at that, these people were still dominating you. So what you do is, you have to take play. I feel instead of removing Lisandro Martinez, I thought he should have removed Luke Shaw. Remove Luke Shaw, leave Sandro Martinez that can do the job of 2 defenders. He has the energy. So when you bring in this Lindelof is not really warm yet. You bring him to that high-tempo game to come and be the only center-back. That's risky. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. So that's very, very risky. So that's an error from him, actually. But, coaching sometimes, you can get it right, you can get it wrong. But what he's done today, you can't really blame him. He just tried to, when you want to tweak things, you think it will work. If it doesn't work, people blame you for it. But at the point of starting to, you have to do something. And he did something, it didn't work. But you have to give him some credit for doing something.
So, Rashford did not come to the party today.
Yeah. Your team needs to...
And he didn't have a shot on goal. He didn't have any shot.
Yeah, you see, I told you about coaching. When you want to play an opponent, you look for their strongest weapon that can hurt you. Then you find a talisman. Yeah. You find a way to silence him. They've done a successful job on Rashford. They silenced him.
They silenced him. Not even a shot.
Yes.
For 90 minutes.
Yes.
Hi.
That's how to silence a player. You silence him. Now look at it. It's now Marshall that is coming to. Look at it. It is, I think, Trippier that has done that crazy job. Silenced him.
Wow.
That's how it works.
I think it's time for us to begin to recognize these Newcastle players very well. And you know, most of the players, they just get hyped. And before you know what's happening, when the real show come, you will not see their presence.
And now,
most of the Newcastle players now, it's only few of them will begin to. People know their name. You know, if you look at the lineup of the defense, by now we should be hailing them.
No, it's not yet time. It's too heavy.
Because why I say it's not yet time, it's time because right now they've conceded just 19 goals in 57 matches.
It's just one season. You start giving credit to guys in over time, consistency. You don't look at one season and say they've arrived.
If you see Willock, look at Willock and Ishak.
No.
They're celebrating.
Yeah, of course. They are winning 2 goals to 0. And you see that next season now, if they end up in this top 4, they will play Champions League. More stress.
Yeah, more stress.
They stretch the squad more. So you test their strength. You test their ability. Can they be playing European competition and still keep up with the top 4 in the Premier League when they stretch them? So we still have a lot of things to consider before we start celebrating them.
All right, we still have a lot of things to do before celebrating them. And it is 95 minutes into the match, and it was 5 minutes. I think it should be over by now. Yeah. Any moment from now, the referee is going to blow the final whistle, and it will be another sweet victory for Newcastle United. And swiftly, and they are on the 3rd position. They have overtaken Manchester United. It's a good one for them. Oh, what a chance! What a play! You know, if you look at their move, they always have a sweet move. You know, like what you said is the training move. And that's what we are seeing here right now.
Yes, no. Training part.
Look at that. Look at the move. Look at the sweet move. Oh, no. I love these guys.
Yeah.
Look at the move. Look at the move. Look at the move. Oh. Any moment from now, the referee is going to blow the final whistle and we'll all go celebrating. But to Man U fans, well, I wish Man U fans can call in now. No Man U fan want to call in.
But you know, so far so good. You just have to give it to Newcastle. You just have to give it to Newcastle. They really did a great job.
They really did.
Wonderful game plan. Wonderful execution.
And the referee has blown the final whistle. And it is Newcastle who has won Manchester United against all expectation. A lot of people expected this win. But a lot of people doubted it also.
Yeah, some people will doubt it. But even the punters went the way of Newcastle because they gave Newcastle the smaller odds.
Yeah.
So compared to Man, so they've foreseen this because Newcastle has been a team, a force to reckon with at home. This ground has been a slaughter ground for teams, and
All right, we are having a call on the line. Hello. All right, who is on the line? Pardon, who is on the line? Okay. All right. This is Premier Sport Fan Center and the match between Manchester United versus Newcastle just come to an end, and it is 2-0 in favor of Newcastle United. So what is your take on this match?
Newcastle did a really good job. Defeated Man United.
Yeah, they defeated Man United. Prior to the match, do you think Newcastle would have defeated Man United?
Yes. I believe they could beat Manchester United. After yesterday, Man United won that Chelsea lost, so I believe that they will beat.
Okay. Which fan are you? Are you a Man U fan or a Chelsea fan?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay, you're a Chelsea fan. Okay, yesterday did the Man U fan laugh at you yesterday?
No.
Huh? So you want to revenge the laugh? How will you laugh at them now?
I'll just keep my cool. I don't make noise.
All right. What do you like about the Newcastle team today? Are you happy with the way they play?
Yes, very happy with the way they play.
Wow. So, I want you to mention one of the players you like so much, because I know Newcastle, their names are not known because they just came in for the first time to top 4. So, did you pick anybody that you say, okay, this guy, I love him so much?
Yeah.
All right. Who is the best? Huh?
Newcastle captain.
Okay, Newcastle captain. And who is the captain of Newcastle?
Karen Trippier.
Karen Trippier. Newcastle, that is one of the
Right back is the
right back. All right, that is nice. So, right now, Chelsea, you have gone back to 11th position. So, where do you expect your team to get to in this Premier season?
I forgot about Premier League. Let's look for this.
What is your team? Now that you're forgetting about Chelsea. Eh?
I think I've forgotten about Premier League. I don't hope Chelsea can achieve anything in the Premier League. Let's look for top of April.
Okay. Now, right now, which team do you want to talk about? Any team, apart from Chelsea. Okay, until you resurrect again. All right. Thanks for calling. All right. Well, you heard Chelsea fans, they are beginning to retire.
No, obviously, there is every team has a way they do their things. And when you start doing it in another way where they don't understand, they just they just go back and just take their mind off it and don't want to talk about it or think about it, because it's annoying this time. We don't do things this way. This is not our way of doing things. And when you now do things in a way that we don't understand, we support our team because there's a tradition in the way we do things. And you are changing it without telling us or anything. We just look at it and what is it doing? And we just, just watch football for watching sake so that we can protect our own mental health and all.
Yeah, because it's really affecting the health. It's really affecting the psychology.
It's affecting many Chelsea fans, but not a Chelsea fan like me.
Not a Chelsea fan like you?
I'm fine. I'm good. They better wake up and start using their brains very well. Not the nonsense they have done so far.
All the nonsense. Will they survive the match on Tuesday against Liverpool?
If they like, they survive. If they like, they don't. That's their business. It's their investment. It's true. When you invest 600 million over 600 and you bring a newbie, like a learner in the aspect of coaching a big team. He has never handled a big team. How can you take such a risk? It's your money. So you've told us, just showed us that it's your money and it's your club. So then take care of it. That's your problem. Honestly.
All right.
They've really messed up.
All right. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. Please don't forget to subscribe. It is when you subscribe, you always get notification from us. And when you subscribe, you always be part of what we are doing in the Premier Sports Fan Center. I think this is how far we can go for today. Don't forget to join us tomorrow as we cover the match between Chelsea versus Liverpool. It's going to be a cracker. I just want all Chelsea fans to have high hope, because anything can happen tomorrow. Liverpool is also struggling. Chelsea is struggling. So let's come to the field. Watch the match and you'll be happy tomorrow. All right, for now.
Is it tomorrow? Is the match
on Tuesday, sorry. The match on Tuesday. On Tuesday. By 8 o'clock. Tuesday, 8 o'clock. The match between Chelsea versus Liverpool. Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Don't forget to join us. For now, it is bye from us here. See you on Tuesday. Lead of the table. With 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today. Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.